Hello everybody and welcome back. This is kind of a coronavirus video with no special purpose. It's just to make some time go away, and I thought I'd just take you along for the ride. I'm going to try some things out. I've prepared a little something, and it's pretty much untested, so I think we're just gonna go through it together and see how it fails, or if it doesn't, well, then how it doesn't. Yeah. Now, I've shown this in the past. This is one of my development boards, and nowadays everybody just keeps asking, can it run Doom? And I thought we'd investigate this a little bit. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see Doom running on it today, but just for the sheer fun of it, let's have a look at some of the options. So I've shown in the past that this is powered by a Teensy microcontroller that is in the back of here. It's got the switches, and basically everything is on the one main board here, which makes it so nice for just fooling around with. And I installed the Arduino IDE on here, and I've got the screen back here ready to go, I hope. And what I did is I went through some of my design pictures, and I went through them, and since this is not the first 8-bit lookalike that I've done on the Teensy platform, I went through some of the changes that I did before, which were needed for the Altair again board, which is this one, and it is a lot different from what I've done before, because before I had done the MicroMe, and the MicroMe is basically 3 microcontrollers that are connected to an asynchronous bus, so they can talk to each other, so they can have some rudimentary DMA telling each other what they're supposed to do. And so you have like the Teensy platform over here, and you have standard Arduino over here, and in the middle you've got another Teensy, usually a Teensy 3.2, which then takes care of things like I/O and audio, for example. And some of you might say, oh, we've seen that system before. It was used for the Cell microprocessor, and yeah, we used this for Cell, and it worked out okay, so I basically just reuse the concept and try to make it work with microcontrollers, and it works. You can actually have them on some sort of asynchronous token bus, and each of them is basically doing what it's supposed to do, while the other one can send it messages, memory information through DMA, or basic messages through a mailbox type of interface using the serial line. So this was a pretty neat design. I put this aside because I was working together with other people, and we kind of had a falling out, and I was back working on this alone, and I don't know, it was just time went by, and I didn't get anywhere, but it was good enough to use it for a kids programming course. And the kids were pretty happy. They really liked it because it was so easy to do, and we could just have programming languages available that they could just key in through the keyboard, and it would be really, really simple. And yeah, so we had a lot of fun with that. And I thought, back in the day, my goal was to get a Commodore 64 emulation running on this, where the main Teensy would do all the CPU work, the secondary Teensy would be the SID, and the keyboard CIA would be handled by the Arduino on this side. And I got pretty far with that, but at some point I just put it aside and I didn't continue with it. And I thought, well, I've done so much stuff with the Commodore 64 emulator, the Teensy 64, to get it to work on this platform, that it should be relatively easy to get it to work on the emulated Altair board or the Altair emulator board. A lot of stuff wouldn't be working, like I don't have joysticks right now, but I do have a keyboard input, I have a video output, I've got a useless serial interface over here that won't work. But then I went ahead and I cobbled together everything that I had for the Teensy 64, for the Micro Me, and I went through the port assignments, and for, I don't know, one lucky reason, I changed the pin layout on these boards as opposed to that one quite favorably for running Teensy 64 on this. So I do have it flashed on this Teensy. It compiles without an error. I think I've even got the serial, the SD card running. So let's try and hook it up. And well, let's see if it catches fire, or I don't know what happens. I really don't. So we're gonna give it VGA. I am going to need a keyboard. Do I have a keyboard here? I might need to get a keyboard. I need some stupid... I've got a keyboard. So we need a PS2 keyboard. And we need something for the sound. I don't have speakers, so I'm just going to use some headphones, and we're going to attach these to the audio out. And then we need a serial interface and power. So serial is going to come over the USB. We're going to use USB serial from the Teensy, and let's just hook this up and see what happens. Whoa, whoa. So we do have a Commodore 64. Oh, I'm sorry. We do have a Commodore 64 screen. Well, let's just see if the keyboard works. So okay, so some keys are working. Oh, oops. The I and the O key, is this I and O, are doing something weird here. I'm not going to be able to type anything like that. But if I remember it correctly, I can use the serial interface here to enter commands. So let's get a board set up here. We've got a Teensy. So I'm going to have to do this on the notebook computer. Let's hide my drink. So we're going to need to get a serial connection here so we can send commands to the Commodore 64 emulation. So we need a COM port. Let's see if this connects. Send something like hello. And we're getting garbage. So this is just some, this is weird. Let's try uppercase. Oh yeah, it works with uppercase. We're going to need a new line at the end, I think. Nope. Maybe we need a carriage return. Yeah, that worked. Okay, so my keyboard here is not quite working because if I press the what is it? The I key, it says load $. Oh, and I'm getting the scan codes on the serial output. And I think if I use O, this is cool. So if I use O, it loads the directory. And I am getting the directory, but most of the stuff in here has most of the stuff in here has I's or O's in the name. So I'm going to use the keyboard on the notebook computer to put this in. So what you're seeing right now here is something that's called Teensy 64. It was programmed by Frank Bösing, and I think it's based on the fake 6502 emulation with a lot of changes to that. And what I was doing to get it to work on this platform here was I edited only the pin assignments, and I did all of the code to enable the PS2 keyboard input, which is different on my board because this is an active PS2 connector, so it can talk to the keyboard. For example, to turn the caps lock light on and to do resets and stuff like that. Because most of the cheaper the cheaper keyboards that are PS2 and USB capable, they actually need to hear the reset from the controller to go into PS2 mode. So if I remember this correctly, then this deliri.prg is some sort of demo that should work. I think I got that to work on the other platform. So let's try to do a load. deliri.prg. Well, that worked. Let's see if we can list this. Oh, need to go uppercase. List. So it's got a 1989 sys 2055. So this might be really old. So let's see if we can start this. I'm going to zoom in here a bit. Get you centered. And so let's type run. Yeah, that was not right. Uppercase run. Yeah, it's doing. I don't know if it's supposed to do that. Whoa. Well, this is cool. And we even got audio. This is going to sound weird. but I'm gonna bring the headphone to the microphone. So this is pretty nice. I didn't know this was going to work. I don't know if I can do anything now. I just pressed a random key. Okay. Return for the next part. Okay, let's try that. Wow. I didn't expect this to work like that. Honestly, I didn't. This is cool. Honestly, I didn't expect this to work. So let's see if we get something else. Some more demo. I don't even know how I'm supposed to quit this. Oh, whoops, I broke it. CPU jam at 502. I don't think that's good. So, yeah, let's cut the power. So this is kind of unexpected because many of those things didn't work on the Micro Me, or they just worked very flaky. Right now the Teensy is kind of overclocked to its maximum, which is around I think about 240 megahertz. That is the maximum where you can go. And this is pretty cool. So I suppose we can postpone the question if it will run Doom, because I'm going to have to get a hold of a copy of Doom 64 so I can actually try it out, and if it will work at all. And if it can work, I will probably have to get a joystick to work first, and I do not want to use the front switches for the joystick. And it would probably be pretty cool to have, I don't know, the process status word or something on the LED display. Right now they're just dead. So this is cool. I didn't and the picture is pretty good too. At the beginning I thought it was kind of darkish, but I could get used to this. So yeah, I don't know. This went a lot better than I expected, and this is kind of a cool thing. I didn't know that the Altair emulator could run a C64 emulator as well. So I think I'm going to, I don't know, get back and try to enable more hardware on this, and maybe figure out how we can have joysticks. I was thinking of adding 2 joystick ports to the to this board, just because the Dazzler board has has joysticks as well. So if I add a joystick port over here and over here, I could actually hook them up to, I suppose, 2 more rows of switches and just have the timer scan them too. And for the C64 emulation, I would just scan those 2 lines. This would be a pretty easy way to get this to work. And since we do have 12 I/O pins in use right now, I could even make a makeshift El Cheapo joystick that just has 4 directions and 1 fire button, and I could have 2 of those on the standard bus. Yeah, loads of stuff to try. So I think I'm gonna quit this video here and get back to my work desk and try to figure out how to take this. Whoops. So it's just running out of battery. Yeah, it's not the newest battery in there. Should probably try to get a newer one. Yeah, I'm going to quit at this point, and I'm going to try and figure out if we can do some more foolish things with this board. And if I get anything to work, I'll just make another video like this. That was fun. So thank you very much for watching, and have a good time. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay at home, and we'll see us in the next video. Bye.